First Time Buyer UK. The hidden costs nobody tells you about buying your first home in the UK feels exciting. You imagine getting your keys, decorating your space, finally having something that's yours. But what most people don't tell you is this. The real challenge isn't just saving for the deposit. It's all the hidden costs that come quietly and hit your wallet when you're not expecting them. Let's talk about the reality. Most first-time buyers focus only on the deposit. You hear things like, you only need 5 cents, and it sounds achievable. But the moment you start the process, you realize the deposit is just the beginning. There are layers of costs, and if you're not prepared, they can slow you down or even stop your purchase completely. One of the first surprises is the legal side. You cannot buy a house in the UK without a solicitor or conveyancer. These professionals handle all the legal work, checking contracts, dealing with the seller, making sure the property is legally safe to buy. Sounds simple, but it comes at a cost, and it's not always a fixed price. Sometimes extra checks or complications increase the bill, and suddenly, what you thought would cost £1,000 becomes much more. Then there's the property survey. This is something many first-time buyers don't fully understand. A house might look perfect on the outside, clean walls, nice kitchen, fresh paint, but underneath, there could be serious issues like damp, structural damage, or roof problems. A survey helps protect you from buying a disaster, but depending on how detailed it is, you could be paying hundreds or even over £1,000. Skipping it to save money might seem tempting, until you discover expensive repairs after moving in. Another cost that catches people off guard is the mortgage fees. Yes, you're already borrowing money from the bank, but that doesn't mean it's free to arrange. Some lenders charge what's called an arrangement fee, and it can easily reach £1,000 or more. Sometimes you can add it to your mortgage, but that means you'll pay interest on it over time, making it even more expensive in the long run. And let's not forget valuation fees. Before giving you a mortgage, the lender needs to confirm that the property is worth what you're paying. That check isn't always free. In some cases, you'll need to cover that cost yourself. Now here's something that really surprises people. Moving costs. When you think about buying a house, you probably imagine the big financial steps, but not the actual move. Hiring a van, paying for movers, buying boxes, maybe even taking time off work, it all adds up. And that's before you even start buying furniture or appliances if the house is empty. Speaking of furniture, this is another hidden reality. Many first-time buyers move into a property and realize they need everything. Bed, sofa, fridge, washing machine, curtains. These are not optional. Even if you try to keep it simple, you'll spend a significant amount just making the place livable. There's also insurance, which is often overlooked. Your lender will usually require buildings insurance before you complete the purchase. And while it's not the biggest expense, it's still something you need to pay up front. Some buyers also choose contents insurance for extra protection. Then comes something people rarely talk about, ongoing costs from day one. The moment you own the house, you are responsible for everything. If something breaks, there's no landlord to call. Boiler stops working, that's your problem. Leak in the roof, your cost. These are not one-time fees, but they are part of the real financial picture of owning a home. Another hidden cost is delays. In the UK, property transactions can take longer than expected, and delays can cost money. You might need to extend your mortgage offer, pay extra legal fees, or even lose money if something falls through. It's stressful, and it can be expensive. There's also the emotional cost, which people don't mention enough. You might pay for surveys, legal work, and mortgage applications, and then the deal collapses. Yes, it happens. And when it does, you don't always get that money back. That's why it's important to have a financial buffer, not just the exact amount you think you need. And here's a big one. Stamp duty. Now, first-time buyers sometimes get relief on this, which helps a lot. But depending on the property price, you might still have to pay it. And when you do, it's not a small amount. It can be thousands of pounds, and it must be paid within a short time after completion. When you add all of this together, the truth becomes clear. Buying a house in the UK is not just about the deposit. It's about being financially prepared for everything around it, the visible costs and the hidden ones. That's why smart buyers don't just ask, can I afford the house? They ask, can I afford the process? Because the process is where most people get surprised. If you're planning to buy your first home, the best thing you can do is over-prepare. Save more than you think you need. Understand every step before you start. And never assume that the price you see is the final amount you'll pay. Owning a home is one of the best long-term decisions you can make. But going into it blind can turn excitement into stress very quickly. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's thinking about buying their first home in the UK. And if you've already gone through the process, drop your experience in the comments.